it means we're on to the next one. Now, what the next one is, it's hard to tell at the moment. It's like I said, that the guy that I fought, he was actually in the Southeast. He was ranked, I think, 4 or 5 spots ahead of me. So this was a big win. I enjoyed it Saturday night. Now we're back to work. So I got in the gym this morning a little bit, just kind of, just moved around, nothing crazy, because now is the time to kind of rest the body, because training camp can be gruesome. But at the end of the day, we'll see what presents itself next. I think it might be kind of hard to find fights in Florida just on the regional scene. So hopefully something bigger can be on the horizon.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, there's no other sports radio show in the country carrying a belt today with the heavyweight champ in the cage. You got that? Not one other show in the country.
Brent. Let him
know,
Never
mind, here in Jacksonville.
I like Brent. I like Brent calling people out. I think I even more am a fan of Austin Lane. Let's Casey. Let's pull up some of those post-fight comments, shall we?
No, we're going here.
We're going here. Let's listen.
Man.
It was a hell of a training camp. Shout out to my opponent, Deshaun Jackson, first and foremost, and that gym. Got a lot of respect for that gym and him as a person. It was all business, nothing personal. It is what it is. Now, on to the matter at hand, man, this belt. I don't fight for belts, all right? I love this belt. I'm glad to be a heavyweight champion. But my teammates, they know I'm a champion. My family, they know I'm a champion. All right? My city, they know I'm a champion. This right here, for anybody that doesn't believe in me or that didn't know, now you know. Everybody else, we know what's up. Bulldog boxing, baby, for lunch. Holla.
Anything you want to say to the rest of the professional heavyweights here in the state of Florida and beyond looking to combat against you here in the Combatagon?
You know, come find me. You know where to get it. I ain't scared. If you're scared, go to church and then come find me.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So now let me clarify this real quick.
Please do. Please explain some of this because I don't know this Austin Lane.
So it's crazy because in that moment when adrenaline is through the charts and I don't really know what to say, I don't plan anything. You just get kind of lost in the moment a little bit. So I kind of had in my mind yes, this belt is cool, but I mean what I said I meant. But when I said it, I'm like, all right, and I said my gym, Bulldog Boxing, and I think I said we're out. And then he asked me another question. I'm like, hey man, I kind of just spoke my piece. You don't got to ask me any more questions because I kind of shot my shot with the first one, and now I got nothing left for you. So I had to come back around, and yeah, I guess if you're scared, go to church, man. Why not? Why not?
I love it. Hey,
why not?
Here's what I did. I said, I think I texted this to Stuart. It probably didn't come across as well in text, but I was thinking about this. I was like, this is like the Austin Lane that we know, locker room with the Jags, buying ice cream at Kilwins for the fans, fun guy on Twitter, great guy on the show, now morning host on WAPE.
Big time fan of anime.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, all this stuff.
Better believe it.
But I think the interesting thing is for us to kind of get a glimpse of that Austin and then also see, because I've asked you this question before, and I ask it to guys like, say, even a Calais Campbell in the past. Like, how are you like this here? And then you cross that line on a football field, or you get, in your instance, in this case, into a cage, and you turn this switch on, right? It's almost like this different, I don't know about personality, that sounds bad, but you get my point. Different persona almost, because you have to in a place like that, right? And so I think it's kind of cool, like when we see it like that. I know it's got to be an interesting view for you as well, kind of to watch or listen back, because you do get in a different zone. I mean, you almost have to dial into a different area code, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a unique perspective when you don't expect to hear your post-fight speech on the show because we can go over it in the email. So yeah, it's definitely a little bit of a surprise.
Table, by the way.
Thank you very much, Stuart
I made
Weber.
sure to get that in there.
Okay, and are you sure that you didn't illegally stream it? Because I'm getting ready to snitch on you if you did.
I'm just kidding. Totally legal.
I'm just kidding. No,
for media purposes.
No, Brent, you're absolutely right. And I think a lot of athletes, in football or in MMA, and really a lot of sports, can attest to this. I consider myself a pretty laid back and chill individual, as a lot of my friends would say. And I like to go with the flow a lot, and I always found that if I cross the white lines or if I get on the mats in the gym or if I get in the cage, I do flip a switch. But it's something that I've always been able to flip on and off. Like when I'm done training, when I get outside the cage, when I get off the field, then I'm still me again. So it is fun to kind of just go to a different place for whatever, if it's like a 2-hour football game or 30 seconds in a cage. It is fun to go there, but it's just important to realize that that doesn't define me. That's a part of who I am, but that's not my overall characteristic.
By the way, this had a hard time coming over in the broadcast, but I believe right after the fight, you were telling somebody cage side, Ronan, you can go to bed now.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so because literally like the announcers are right there. I'm just kind of walking around taking it all in, and then I see the announcers right in front of me, like, "What's up, guys?" And like, I think it was the female announcer. She asked me like, "Hey, so how do you feel?" I'm like, "Feels good," just like we went over. And then I'm like, "Oh, hey, tell my son that it's pretty late. You should go to bed right now." So then I told him via the stream, but he was already sleeping, so it is what it is. It was like 11 o'clock.
That's good. Who were the kids like in the cage?
So yeah. So that's actually a funny story. So that kid right there, he used to come in our gym all the time, and just basically came to some of our kids' classes, and then our head coach Matt would work with him. Well, they came to that event to watch our guys perform, and he kind of snuck, like his mom snuck him in the back room before I went out there, and she's like, "Hey, I don't want to bother you, but can you just he came to what you want to say what's up to you?" I'm like, "Oh, what's up, little man?" So like he's giving me fist bumps, and I'm like, "We got this, man. We got this. Thanks for coming. We got this." So then when the fight was over, I saw him, because he was going crazier than anybody. I'm like, "Dude, get up here." So like I told security, let him in, because he's part of the family as well. So they let him in. It was a pretty cool experience for him as well.
That's good. That's good stuff. Good backstory on that. Reggie Northrup got the win as well.
He did.
Austin Lane gets a win Saturday night. Good stuff. That was a lot of fun revisiting that Saturday night. Weber, hang around if you want. Casey tries week number 2. Casey was like the MVP of week number 1, not going to lie.
Win all 9 innings, Brent. Let's bring him back again. Win all 9 innings. Complete game.
That's right. He certainly did. Hey, we talk some football next. There's some big stories floating around the football world. Jags are going to get hot and heavy here over the next couple of days. They're really out of the headlines for the moment. Although, did you hear what Gardner Minshew said over the weekend?
I love it.
How good was that? Plus Aaron Rodgers, plus Deshaun Watson. Are you surprised that he's in camp? And does money really matter that much to Deshaun to be in camp with the salary that he makes? We talk all about it. Coming up, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 from Jacksonville all the way to Atlanta.
Now, the First Alert Forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly sunny skies, but a few showers and thunderstorms off and on. A high 90 in Jacksonville. Or partly cloudy tonight, an isolated lingering shower, low 74. Partly sunny skies Tuesday, a few storms, high 93. And then scattered showers and storms Wednesday. Looks like the wettest day of the week, high 92. From the Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Corey Sima.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Save thousands right now with Beard's unbeatable deals.
At Tire Outlet, we're committed to providing our customers with professional and honest automotive recommendations. Don't believe us? Check out our reviews online and see why we're Jacksonville's preferred automotive shop.
Great guys to work with, always very helpful and affordable.
With 12 locations across Northeast Florida, Tire Outlet can help keep you and your family safe on the road, wherever you are.
Wholesale prices, premium service, Tire Outlet.
We are into that travel, baseball, and softball season now for the kids, and with that, we need a reliable car, and we need folks that are tremendous at customer service just in case we need their help. Well, the place to go is Fields Auto Group. That's what we did. My wife loves leasing her Cadillac XT6 from Fields Cadillac, part of the Fields Auto Group. It's safe. We can trust Fields Auto Group, and hey, it's luxury for less while you're on the road. Fields Cadillac Jacksonville and St. Augustine are part of the Fields Auto Group family. There's also Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. It's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. We've tried the loaner program, gone in for routine service, and every experience with Fields Auto Group has been first class. Whatever you're driving, see Fields and step up to luxury for less. Check out their locations around Jacksonville. Just visit Fields Auto There is a taste of the islands in every drop of Vida de Luis tequila, imported directly from Tequila, Mexico to Jacksonville Beach. Vida de Luis is the only locally owned tequila in Jax Beach. Support local and try Vida de Luis. Award-winning, smooth, all natural, no aldehydes or additives, which means wake up feeling good the next morning. Find out where you can pick up a bottle of Vida de Luis, Blanco, Reposado, or Añejo. Just visit VitaDeLuis.com. Support local and taste the islands in every drop.
Hello, Jacksonville. This is Greg McGarity. The future of college football is now, and our primary goal is to position the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl and Jacksonville to be prepared for a potential college football expansion. And we need you, our local business leaders, to join our team and showcase that Jacksonville supports college football. Gator Bowl Sports has opportunities for all companies, whether you have 5 employees or 5,000. I would love to meet you and talk about our future. If you'd like to learn more, contact me at 904-798-1700.
Men, do you feel embarrassed in the bedroom because of ED or PE? Prime Men's Medical Center has the solution.
I'm Dr. Brown. 98% of patients experience a positive result from the treatment in just 10 minutes after just one office visit. Men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, and it's affordable.
Call Prime Men's Medical Center at 904-664-8217. See results on your first visit guaranteed or pay nothing. Call 904-664-8217.
He's kept you ahead of storms.
This is going to be a very active afternoon of storms.
He's taken you inside storms.
Look at the Reds then that have shifted a little south of Jacksonville.
And for 33 years, the Chief has seen it all, forecasting severe weather days in advance. So when storms are headed your way, there is only one meteorologist to turn to tonight, the Chief. The knowledge and experience of Jacksonville's Chief Meteorologist, Mike Burrish. Action News Jack's First Alert Weather, only on CBS 47 and Fox 30.
Ready for a road trip, a long weekend, a quick getaway, but need the ride to get you there? Then you need to rent a Toyota from Arlington Toyota today. Maybe you've got a business trip coming up, or you really want to go on that family vacation, but a minivan would make it so much better. Then rent a Toyota from Arlington Toyota. Rent a Toyota at Arlington even has a large inventory of new 2021s for you to rent. And with great competitive rental rates, there's nothing stopping you from hitting the open road. Rent a Toyota from Arlington Toyota and try it before you buy it. Reserve yours today at arlingtontoyota.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Smart speakers are becoming part of everyday life, so why not use it to listen to the radio? Tell Alexa, Google Home, or any other speaker to play ESPN 690. Give it a shot weekday afternoons from 3 to 6.
I do not know that there will be any punishment for Deshaun Watson.
Right.
I have inquired as to whether the league would do anything, but in terms of Deshaun with a head nod. But let's face it, Deshaun Watson has reported to the Texans. If the commissioner had a problem with that, he could have went ahead and acted in some manner as to saying, we don't want you to report, we're going to put you on this exempt list. And he hasn't done that.
That is Chris Mortensen from ESPN on Deshaun Watson. I've got to be honest with you. I'm a little surprised Deshaun Watson showed up to camp on time. I guess he was a little bit out of sight, out of mind in my world. But $50,000 a day is a lot of money. Deshaun Watson, I'm not really sure he needs the money, at least not yet. We'll see what happens with the legal situation. But are you surprised, Austin Lane, that Deshaun Watson is in camp, and now there's this openness to, okay, we'll try to trade him. Let's see if a team will give us the world for him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely surprised that he showed up right away. At the same time, though, you know, with all these allegations and everything, I don't think Deshaun Watson really has any room in terms of leverage or having a power play here. I think that Deshaun Watson wants to play football still, which I think we all believe, but I think he understands, like, yeah, I mean, in a perfect world, you get traded, you go to the team that you want to go to, but with all this stuff looming over your head right now, I think Deshaun Watson is going to take what he can get, and if that's playing for the Houston Texans for another year until everything sorts itself out, so be it. But I still am a little surprised.
Well, the other part of that is Houston basically, there were reports saying we want as many as 5 players and picks combined, and we're basically open to a trade. This is late July. Why didn't this happen like around draft time? Why wouldn't have it happened earlier? Why did it take so long to get to this, where basically now Houston almost is daring another team to come trade for Deshaun Watson?
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting set of results here. I don't know if it's the fact that maybe they know something that we don't in terms of what exactly went down with these allegations. I'm not sure if they really see the writing on the wall now that he definitely doesn't want to be there and it's not going to work out, or the fact of what they can get for him. It could be a combination of all three things. But I think in Deshaun Watson's case, once again, I don't see a team giving up 5, whatever, if it's first-round picks or star players to get Deshaun Watson. I understand he's a top 5 talent on the field, and he's still young coming into his prime. But with all this stuff over his head, do you really want to be that team that risks it? He gets found guilty, and then what are we talking about?
Yeah, I just don't know how anybody could trade for him right now. Unless, again, there are back channels of information going on because there's been no punishment or decision or any word really from the commissioner's office. Maybe they don't think this is anywhere. Maybe this is going to play out in Deshaun Watson's favor, that a Philadelphia or Miami, who have seemingly have the capital to be able to make a trade like this if interested, would take that risk. But I'm telling you, man, I just don't see a market out there right now for Deshaun Watson. I don't see, when you have Tua and you invested in him, if you're Miami, let's just take these two teams. And these two teams are good examples just because they have question marks at quarterback, but they also have the ability with their draft capital, maybe some of their players, to give up what Houston wants or at least come close. Well, if you're Philadelphia, you've basically committed to Jalen Hurts, and why not see that through a little bit instead of go after a guy like Deshaun Watson? And I'll give you one other thing. Deshaun Watson, in my estimation, if all this shakes out, will be available in 2022. Mm-hmm. He's still going to want out of there. Once a player wants out, they don't change their mind. He wants out. So if this all gets clean, why would any team take a risk right now? I would just wait a year. And specific to those two teams, they're probably better off waiting a year anyway and see how their quarterbacks play.
Yeah, it's just wild to comprehend that a team would try to trade for him. And listen, I'm the first one to always say, it takes outside the box thinking to be successful in the NFL. But in this case, it's just far too much. I can't imagine being a GM, giving up that much capital, and all of a sudden it comes out. And listen, I don't know how many allegations we're up to now, and we'll find out if those are true or if they're false in terms of the narrative. But all it takes is one of those allegations to come true. He's found guilty, and then what are we talking about? I don't want to be the GM that gives away essentially my entire franchise for that player. I would rather, lay low for the year, see how it all transpires, and then evaluate and go from there.
Yeah, no doubt. Adam Schefter this weekend and earlier today talking about Deshaun Watson. Here's what he had to say.
This really was the next step that Deshaun Watson had to take. It's not that he wants to be there. It's not that the Texans want him there, while the NFL and police in Houston continue to investigate the allegations levied against Deshaun Watson over harassment. And so this is a case where if he had not reported to camp today, he would have been fined $50,000 a day. And so rather than face those fines and the ramifications that come with that, Watson reported. Now the question is, do the Texans take some action on their own? Do they excuse him from camp until the legal issues are resolved? Do they let him be there? Do they let him practice? It's hard to imagine when they seem like they're open and willing and likely to trade him at some point. We don't know when, but likely to trade him, that they'll allow him to practice. So how do they avoid that happening when he doesn't want to be there practicing for them, when they don't want him practicing for them? But he had to report to avoid the fine. So this obviously is a story that is just beginning, but this was the next step in the process for Deshaun Watson. He had to do that to avoid the fines. He did, and now we see what follows suit in what will be a summer of storylines that surrounds Deshaun Watson.
That's Adam Schefter on Deshaun Watson. I find it interesting. Let's bring Stuart Weber back in. Sorry, Weber, I didn't know if you were there or not. But, the $50,000 a day, it's a lot of money. I get it. You're talking about at the end, you sit out for 10 days, $500,000. I can do that math. But these guys have a ton of money. It sounds like Schefter's like, hey, he had to come in to avoid the fine. I don't know if he had to come in. If he didn't want to be there, so what? There goes $500,000. Again, I know that sounds like crazy. But these guys make crazy money. So I don't know if I agree he had to come in. Weber, do you think there's any other motivation behind what Watson's doing and being there?
Yeah, I mean, for so much of the offseason, having said that he didn't want to come in, I'm with you there. Why come in then? The only thing I can think of is to try and prove to these other NFL teams that might be out there and might be looking that, hey, I'm here. I'm still good. I'm ready to play. You should trade for me right now. That's about all I can think of is to show them that you're ready to go and not going to be out of shape, not going to be in the wrong mindset, but to be in that football playing mindset by showing up. Maybe you're giving that idea to the other teams.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing with these guys. I get the fines. It's a lot of money. Don't mistake me. It's still a lot of money, and money's money at the end of the day. But I don't know if it means they have to make a move because of the money. The dollars are significant. It's not like it used to be. That changed in the new CBA, so there's value there to get a guy in. There's no chance of this being rectified, though, right? Between now and, let's just say, the league year, next March, there's no way Deshaun Watson is on the Houston Texans, right, Austin?
No, I have a hard time to believe that. I think this is really the only play that Deshaun Watson has if he wants to play the game of football. And I think what it comes down to is he's putting on a showcase for teams this season to say, okay, you know what? I don't have a lot of support around me to perhaps in terms of personnel. We got a brand new coaching staff. I think the best thing Deshaun Watson could do in terms of increasing his trade stock after this season is to go out there and perform in a new system with a lot of new teammates and say, look, I showed up on time. It is what it is, but I'm ready to go someplace else.
Well, it's interesting as we sit here in Jacksonville after the last couple of years, the Jan stuff, the Tom Coughlin stuff, the Jalen Ramsey stuff, the everything really, right? I mean, there were a lot of different things. Really interesting to watch the other teams go through. We talked a little bit about this last week. I think it's the nature of the league. As we sit here in Jacksonville, guys, there really is not a headline, I mean, it's almost like, hey, just pick up your hard hat, your lunch pail, and come to work. We'll see you Tuesday, be on the field Wednesday. There's really not a headline outside of the headlines we've been talking about for months and months and months, which are big, but there's nothing new. I got to believe that's a very pleasant thing for Urban Meyer, Trent Baalke, Shad Khan, and this organization.
Yeah, by no means is that a bad thing.
Some would call it the best thing, Stuart.
Yeah, we certainly don't want any of those big-time headlines about disgruntled players or players in legal trouble. We don't need any of that here in Jacksonville. The only legal trouble was the fact that Urban Meyer might have had guys hitting too early and loses some OTAs for next year. That's fine. No
one's going to bat an eye about that, except the players when Urban Meyer comes back and hey, you guys want to snitch on me? Check this out.
Yeah, exactly. That's certainly part of it. So the biggest thing right now is just Gardner Minshew, going on podcasts and making good quotes. That's where we're at right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, you bring up a good point. I was going to save Gardner Minshew till 4 o'clock-ish maybe, but let's just touch on it now because I think it's along those lines. I guess, is there potential for Gardner Minshew's situation, his competitive nature? I think something that even Urban Meyer has pointed out. We know he is. He's super competitive. His belief in himself, which he should have belief. Austin, we've said it many a times. We're fans of Minshew. We think he can play in this league, but he's not going to be the quarterback of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Over the weekend, he has a hilarious quote on the podcast where he basically says, I haven't taken you-know-what in a couple of weeks because being number 2 is not an option.
Mm-hmm.
That was his answer to the competition or his thoughts on Trevor Lawrence. Mm-hmm. It was fantastic. But could there be some drama that might brew with Minshew? Because if there's one guy that maybe doesn't want to be here, if there was one guy I was advising to say, hey, maybe this isn't the best place for you, it would probably be Minshew.
Yeah. As far as the kind of the attitude and demeanor that he's going to bring in that locker room, I guess willing to surrender the starting spot, if you will, I don't see that being really an issue with Minshew. Now, I love what he said. Mwah, chef's kiss to it. Probably the quote of the offseason, if we're being honest here. But at the end of the day, he has to understand one of the golden rules of football, and that it's not always fair. It doesn't matter how hard you want to win, doesn't matter how hard you work, or the talent that you have. If they pick a quarterback at number 1 overall, your time is done. And that's the way that's the way things are, and that's the way things always will be. So I think the best thing that Gardner Minshew can do now, because he still wants to play in this league as he should, he's earned that right, he's earned that privilege, is for him to try to be the best teammate as possible, try to be the best backup quarterback as possible. And by that I mean pushing Trevor Lawrence, making maybe Trevor Lawrence feel a little uncomfortable, and being the best backup quarterback possible. Because other teams will take note of that. People talk around the league, and that will probably be his best option and get traded and go to another team where he can actually get them starting time. I think right now, his days in Jacksonville are numbered, and it just begs the question, if you're Urban Meyer, do you keep him in Jacksonville in Gardner Minshew, or do you go with a guy that you invested a little capital in C.J. Beathard?
To pull from Austin Dutherlove, by the way, of the AEW, it's a little MJF factor. He's just staying in character. He's just staying in that Gardner Minshew, Mississippi mullet, mud flapper. He's just staying in that character, I think, as long as he can, while people will let him do it.
Do you think there's any chance he could look so good in August? He got a lot of reps in the spring that they say, you know what, hey, he's playing really well. Trevor, sit down for a couple weeks. I mean, Trevor's got to be the guy week one, right? There's no other way about it. It's almost like if Minshew threw 62 touchdowns and no picks and didn't throw an incompletion in August, I don't think he's got a chance to even start day one.
No, there's no way, because despite of what the stats say and the percentages and the analytics, what it comes down to is your win-loss record. And the win-loss record last year for Gardner Minshew, it wasn't good. And that's why you have Trevor Lawrence now as your starting quarterback. I think there's zero way that you sit Trevor Lawrence down, because we always talk about this. He's the most NFL-ready quarterback out of that draft class. He's won everywhere that he's been at. And to sit him and to say, hey, you know what, this is Gardner Minshew's show for a little bit until you get acclimated and you get acquainted. No, that's not how the NFL works, and that's not how first overall picks work.
Yeah, especially this guy, right? I mean, and I'm telling you, I know the makeup of Minshew. I think we all do, but that's who he is. Like the quote was funny. That fits persona, but he ain't kidding in his mind. Mm-hmm. Like he is going to go out there and try to win that job like he's got a chance, even though, like you said, Austin, football isn't fair sometimes. He really doesn't have a chance. And so the reason I wanted to couple this with the Deshaun Watson stuff is if Watson were to move, or if they don't want to play Watson because they want to keep him healthy so they can move him at some point, is Houston a possible landing spot for Gardner Minshew? If he looks good in August in a couple of preseason games, does Houston pick up the phone? I'm not saying trade Deshaun Watson here, folks. I'm just saying spend a pick to go get a guy like Minshew.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of possibilities where he could end up. That they did get a quarterback, Davis Mills. They have Tyrod Taylor. If you do sit Watson, I think Minshew would be a great viable option, at least for a backup quarterback, and to probably compete with Tyrod Taylor. I'm not sure how they feel about David Mills right now. But at the end of the day, I think he has to get in his mind that there's not a lot of starting opportunities out there. I'm not sure if even Houston is one of them.
Well, if I'm the Jags, I don't like giving one of the quarterbacks that spent camp with us to a division rival either.
And that's a great point as well, Stuart.
That's a good call. It's a good point. Hey, real quick, I know we're going to go break. You rather have C.J. Beathard as your backup quarterback or Gardner Minshew? Seriously. Go ahead.
Minshew for me.
Yeah, it's going to be Minshew for me, too. It comes at a discount.
Me, too.
Yeah.
They spent $5 million on Beathard. I don't even know if they need him.
Mm-hmm. Well, you spent how much on a jersey for Ty? I mean, we got to get those 15 jerseys some more work out there.
That's a good point. Very true. That was pretty expensive. That was for Kaylee, by the way.
Oh, Kaylee, sorry.
We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
ESPN 690 Sports Center Update.
It's Monday. I'm Casey Kurtz. Our very own Austin Lane brought the heavyweight title home from Orlando over the weekend. Austin won his heavyweight bout at Combat Night's Clash of the Titans. He won via knockout 30 seconds into the bout. The champ is here from 3 to 6 on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. And in the Olympics, Bulls grad Ryan Murphy recorded the best time in the 100-meter backstroke heat events last night in Tokyo. Murphy will swim for a gold medal in that event tonight. It starts at 10 p.m. And Caleb Dressel, who attended Clay County High School, led off the 4x100-meter relay for the United States last night, helping them win gold. It's the first medal for Dressel in these Olympics. And in soccer, the U.S. men's national team took down Jamaica 1-0 last night to advance to the semifinal of the Gold Cup. This Sports Center update sponsored by Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan for the people.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin. If it wasn't for football, I may have never made it through college. Whether it was classes going to that didn't really apply to what I wanted to do, whether it was taking unnecessary tests, the standard 4-year university, it's just not for everybody. If you're looking for a school that offers the kind of hands-on essential career training that can move you and your future in the right direction, you need to call my friends at J-Tech right now. Their only job is to give you the necessary skills and tools to make you an essential employee in whatever field you choose. Fields like automotive, diesel, HVAC, marine and RV, and transportation. And keep in mind, up to 84% of their graduates are employed in their field of choice right after graduation. J-Tech is now enrolling new students for their up-and-coming fall term that starts September 27th. To learn more about J-Tech, visit jtech.org, or better yet, give them a call at 904-483-9460. Ask for Hank to set up an appointment to tour the campus or get your questions answered. Once again, that's 904-483-9460, or visit jtech.org.
Hey, boss, did you see this article in the Crooks R Us newsletter about the ding-dong doorbell cameras?
What'd they do now?
Apparently, they automatically enroll the user in some internet sharing network with their neighbors.
What? That can't be real.
It is real. They even have a name for it. Do a search for sidewalk sharing. You can read all about it.
So you're telling me that all the ding-dong doorbell cameras on any given block are sharing internet with each other?
Yep. So if a hacker gets into one, they could have access to them all.
Does SafeTouch Security do that?
Boss, SafeTouch doesn't do that with their customer security. With SafeTouch, everything's encrypted.
I knew that. I was just testing you.
Well, it's just another reason we got the Crooks R Us golden rule.
Stay away from SafeTouch houses. Yeah, we'll call that one reason number 143.
Crooks know to stay away from SafeTouch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of SafeTouch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call SafeTouch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
It is the home of the Action Sports Jax Dream 18, and make it your home course as well. The Golf Club at Southampton in North St. Johns County, located off County Road 210. It's family-owned and operated. Southampton is a fun course to play, and the Golf Club at Southampton offers club membership programs starting at just $79. With its elite practice facilities and player-friendly golf course design, it'll be your gateway to a great time with the family or with your buddies. For information on the membership programs, call the Golf Club at Southampton, 904-287-PLAY. Again, it's 904-287-PLAY.
At Tire Outlet, we're committed to providing our customers with professional and honest automotive recommendations. Don't believe us? Check out our reviews online and see why we're Jacksonville's preferred automotive shop.
Great guys to work with, always very helpful and affordable.
With 12 locations across Northeast Florida, Tire Outlet can help keep you and your family safe on the road, wherever you are.
Wholesale prices, premium service, Tire Outlet.
The COVID-19 vaccine is an important choice for people at higher risk of COVID-19 complications because of diabetes, high blood pressure, and heart conditions. Getting back to life. It's up to you. A message from the American Heart Association.
Colon cancer. It can strike anyone. As the third most common cancer, colon cancer can be prevented. A colonoscopy is the only way to detect and prevent colon cancer. Get screened. It saves lives. Visit BorlandGrooverFoundation.com for more life-saving information.
Let's be real. Mopping is a hassle. You have to fill the bucket, pushing a wet, heavy mop around, then cleaning the mop when you're done so it doesn't grow bacteria. A hassle on top of a hassle. Try Swiffer WetJet. With Swiffer WetJet, you start with a fresh pad and cleaning solution every time. And when you're done, you just a cleaner way to clean your floors.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jax on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Brett Martin, Austin Lane, Stuart Weber in on a Monday. It must be football week. Casey along as well. It is football season. I'll be back in studio on Wednesday, back there for that first practice. Got a couple more days of this final travel ball tournament. I've been enjoying this Atlanta tournament. A lot of people say this tournament stinks because you got to drive all over creation, and driving in Atlanta is not great.
Not
right?
ideal.
Not ideal at all.
But I've actually enjoyed it. We went to this one spot on the foot of the Blue Ridge Mountains, like an hour away. That field was beautiful, with a couple of nice little small towns. So I enjoyed the ride. And then the last couple of days have been just about a half hour away, not too bad. Well, today, just quick story. We wake up at 6 a.m. We got a game that was supposed to be at 11:15. Then it moved to 9 late last night. So and it's an hour away, the park. And so, we got to leave at 6:45 or so. And we drive over, we get there, and there is the field doesn't look that bad from a distance. In fact, some of these high school fields are just incredible. This one's built down in the valley. It's really a beautiful setting. But we haven't had a ton of rain in the area, but I guess they got swamped with rain last night for about an hour. Well, there's a lake out in right field, like a lake. And so it's
good thing Ty's an infielder.
Yeah,
good
true.
Point.
He would have needed his swimmies. But the home state fields, what they do is they rent these fields from the high schools, right? So it'd be like renting it from Bartram or Creekside or somebody like that. Well, they have to take care of the field. Well, the guy shows up at 8:15 for a 9 o'clock game, and he's got a lake in right field. And so there's no way we're playing at 9 o'clock. So they end up trying to fix it. They push it to 12. So, we left at 6:45. Now it's at 12. We stop at the old Waffle House for a little breakfast.
Now we're talking.
All right. We get back out there at 12. They still haven't fixed the lake. Now it's 100 degrees and sunny out. It hasn't rained a drop for us. But they can't get the field playable. So basically we got moved to a 4:30 game at a different high school about an hour away from there.
Oh, man.
So now I understand why people don't like this tournament sometimes.
I guess so.
But it's been a good competition and stuff. And this is another beautiful field. I'm sitting here in the parking lot doing the show, but I'll probably only go up until about 4:30. Got to catch a couple more games before the football and the no days off begins. So
I was going to say, tournament's probably worth it, though, because you got a perfect game tweet on Ty. So you got that going.
We got the perfect game tweet on Ty. I'm not a big fan of the perfect game tweets, but that is his first career one. So there we go. I'll do the tweeting. I do plenty of that.
That's it.
Yeah. Hey, how about quick thought on the Olympics, okay? One overall, USA basketball, holy cats. I mean, can we stop being embarrassing? It's one thing if the rest of the world is caught up and we're not going to send our A-team all-stars over there, but this is getting a little embarrassing, guys.
Yeah, embarrassing to say the least. And I understand. France has some good players. They have Rudy Gobert and Evan Fournier, but and Rudy Gobert. That's about it. And I get it. The excuse is going to be, well, it's not like the best talent in the USA is playing in the Olympics. You still have guys like Dame Lillard. You have one of the best guys in Kevin Durant. To me, there's still no excuse. So it's definitely, to me, it is embarrassing, and far be it for me to, talk smack about other professional athletes in this manner, but you can't lose these games. And it's almost like, and we talked about this a little bit last week, Brent, where it's almost like it's a lose-lose situation. Because either you win because you're expected to win because you're the United States of America in basketball, or you lose and you go from being the dream team to now you're the meme team. And people are making fun of you. So it's a lose-lose.
Tough month for Dame Lillard, losing in the Olympics, but also getting worked in Space Jam 2. I mean, just an awful showing from him there.
He did get worked in Space Jam 2.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, I didn't see that yet, and won't probably. The gymnastics team, not off to a great start, but they'll be fine, I believe. The swimming team off to an awesome start. Caleb Dressel, gold medal. Ryan Murphy will swim tonight in the 100 back for a gold medal. So good luck to those guys. Michelle Moultrie from Mandarin playing softball. She'll play in the gold medal game tomorrow night for Team USA. So a lot of good stories to tell for the U.S. so far. Really, in the pool has been the best story so far for Team USA. So we figure they'll do very well. I have this question about the Olympics. It's so funny. I spend a lot of time with Ty these days, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he asked me today, and he's like, hey, do more people around here, like he said here, I'm like, you mean in Atlanta? He's like, no, I mean like around the country care about the Olympics. He's like, because like we're watching it a little bit, but not like locked into it. And I was like, yeah, that's a good question. I said, I think people are watching it, but I think the Olympics have really lost their luster from the time when I was a kid. Like, I really do. Like, over the years, I think. And I think there's a couple of different reasons why. I think the professionalism of it, when we went to the Dream Team and the NBA guys and lost the amateur nature of, say, the Miracle on Ice team, there was just something charming about that, And we had to do it because if the other countries are going to bring their best players, we got to try to bring our best players. Like, I understand it. But even in the Olympics, like, we've watched all those guys play basketball, right? We watched those guys play some of those sports. I think the thing that most people look forward to now in the Olympics are swimming and gymnastics because we don't see them on our TV every night.
I think the big thing for me when I look at the Olympics is that it draws in that non-sports fan crowd. It's able to pull those people in who aren't locked in to, I don't know, ESPN 690, for example. Our diehard sports fans are locked into sports all the time. They're going to stick to the mainstream sports in the Olympics, but those non-sports fans, they want the stories. They want the, Simone Biles, who they've heard so much about. They want to see her compete in gymnastics. They want to see these events that, like you said, you only see every few years. So I do feel like with how segmented sports have become, everyone's got their favorites. You're getting more and more people just locked into that and maybe less interested in the overall, Olympic spirit where everyone is just going for Team USA.
Well, and especially now, too, because it's a lot like the NCAA tournament where every game's available. Every sport is available. Like I remember back as a kid, it's like, all right, well, we're watching track and field tonight because that's the option. Or you're watching gymnastics or you're watching figure skating if it's the Winter Olympics.
I can go on that app and I can choose whatever sport I want. I watched some badminton yesterday.
No, for
just
sure.
Terrific.
Nowadays, now they got I was watching mountain biking this afternoon, which okay. I was watching skateboarding too, which was, you want to talk about 13-year-olds winning gold medals. It's a little ridiculous. That's just insane. And that's a whole other story.
Has that hurt it? Have some of those periphery sports, has that hurt and maybe lost the luster of the Olympics?
See, in my opinion, no, because I think skateboarding is such an alternative sport that we're not accustomed to seeing that it's only going to bring fresh faces and people are, it's one of the biggest stories so far of the Olympics. I think it only helps. But at the end of the day, like Stuart was saying, I think we just want to see greatness. Whether it's Simone Biles, whether it was Usain Bolt of the past decade
Phelps
or so, Phelps in the pool. It's something about seeing the best athlete in the world time and time again perform on the biggest stage.
By the way, there's best skateboarders coming to Jacksonville in November.
You better believe it, man.
Get ready.
Yes, they are. By the way, Simone Biles for me is the most entertaining athlete on the planet right now, so I love it. But the ratings were down like 30-something% over the weekend on the Olympics. One final thought on why. I think I have a fix potentially. You got to tell me if I'm crazy, but then we go back to football. Aaron Rodgers, the latest on that, coming up. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Anyone can talk like they're a big dog, but few actually walk the talk. We're not the only plumbing company claiming same-day water heater service. In fact, a lot of customers have called us after other companies failed to come through on their same-day service talk. Fortunately, Griffin Service delivers. We eat big dogs for lunch. And we fix what others can't. Some of that's knowing the science, engineering, and craft of AC and plumbing better than the Bubbas, but it's also better planning. The key to actually doing same-day water heater replacement is having water heaters in stock and ready to go. And that's what we do. Gas, electric, tank, tankless, we got them all in stock and ready to roll for you. So if you want to avoid the bait and switch turd bucket tactics of the Bubbas, or if you discover you're in the middle of an all talk, no walk situation with a wannabe, well, you know who to call, right?
GriffinService.com.
CMC 1250697.
Temperatures keep climbing and hotter weather means your body needs more water. Stay hydrated. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure the water you and your family drink is cleaner, healthier, and tastes great. It starts with the Connecticut system, proudly made in America and installed by the pros CGC Water. Not sure about your water? Call CGC. They'll analyze your water for free. I haven't had to worry about my water since I got mine installed because Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of the contaminants. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Kinetico makes the world's most efficient softeners, non-electric, twin tanks that use less salt and water during regeneration. Save up to $500 on select softener and RO systems this month. Financing available with approved credit. Call CGC Water at 904-552-1242. Call and ask about Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Tell them Brent sent you and find out all the details and all the great ways you can save. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com, your local independent Kinetico dealer. There is a taste of the islands in every drop of Vida de Luis tequila, imported directly from Tequila, Mexico to Jacksonville Beach. Vida de Luis is the only locally owned tequila in Jax Beach. Support local and try Vida de Luis. Award-winning, smooth, all natural, no aldehydes or additives, which means wake up feeling good the next morning. Find out where you can pick up a bottle of Vida de Luis, Blanco, Reposado, or Añejo. Just visit VitaDeLuis.com. Support local and taste the islands in every drop.
5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term contract to get in on the action. Well, no more, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide, with plans starting at just $35 a month with no contract. And get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for only $299, all on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required, actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Goodyear believes in the power of moving forward. No matter if it's on the track, the court, or the field, movement makes us want to be more. It pushes us to go further, to show the world what we can do. Movement has the unique ability to change our perspective, to challenge us, to work for a better tomorrow. Movement can even bring us together when we're still. Because if we're focused on the next move, we don't have to worry about what's behind us. Goodyear, more driven.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is SportsCenter.
That's just in from ESPN's Adam Schefter. Over the weekend, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers were able to reach mutually agreed upon terms that are close to convincing the quarterback to abandon plans he had to skip training camp and instead report tomorrow. Packers offering concessions close to an agreement that would bring back the star quarterback to Green Bay for at least this season. Deal done, but not close. Concessions don't include more money. Texas, Oklahoma telling the Big 12 they won't extend their media rights agreement when it expires in 2025. The next step for the schools, let the SEC know they want to join that conference, a move that will have major repercussions across college sports, explains ESPN's Booger McFarland.
And the bigger picture, which I think we will all be better off for it, is the NCAA will be no more. And I think college football will be better, and hopefully collegiate athletics will be better, because the NCAA greening has really run amok, I think, of college sports the last 5 or 10 years, and a lot of people are tired of seeing it. And so I think this is just the last domino to fall when it comes to that.
Our Booger McFarland this morning on Get Up.
What? Just 15 seconds to talk about Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea? That smooth taste of real brewed iced tea with just the right kick of alcohol? What? We started already? Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Look for it in the bright yellow cans. Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Well, I think the two most likely scenarios are, one, that he retires, and we put that in quotes, right? Because it's more like what Carson Palmer did with the Bengals years ago when he didn't want to play for them anymore. He retired figuring, well, they'll trade me, and ultimately they did. And the other option would be if he and the Packers could get something worked out on a contract that lets him out after 1 year. He's got 3 years left on his contract, but nothing guaranteed. And obviously with the draft pick of Jordan Love, future uncertain. If he could get a reworked contract with a provision that they can't franchise him and he's able to be a free agent next year, then maybe he comes back.
I think that's Dan Graziano from ESPN talking about Aaron Rodgers, and there is new information out on Aaron Rodgers in the last 10 minutes. So I'll have that coming up in just a moment. Keep in mind, football at 5. Austin's going to break down the tight end position of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Our Camp Battles segment continues. Brent Martineau live in Atlanta, parking lot of another game for the Dodgers scout team coming up at 4:30. Austin Lane, not a belt in hand, but he had it around his waist on Saturday night. Champ in the cage after a 31-second TKO. I got that right? TKO.
Yeah, nailed it, man. And I'll tell you what I have in my hand right now is we got some cinnamon rolls that were in the lunchroom. So you picked a great day to not be here. And Casey, as I stuff my woofer for my lunch with these cinnamon rolls, you keep your mouth shut and don't judge me. You got me, man?
Sounds like a plan.
All right, my man, appreciate
By
you.
the way, I love that your fight camp is over because you wouldn't have been putting cinnamon rolls in your woofer.
No.
If your camp was still going on.
Nothing but lean proteins, Brent, and complex carbs that go in this woofer during fight camp. Fight camp's over now. I'm going Cinnabons.
All right, I have one final thought on the Olympics, okay?
Yeah.
I think I can find a way to help the Olympics.
Okay.
I think one of the big problems is they are just on NBC. If you think about the NFL, now listen, there's a lot of different reasons maybe ratings are down or the Olympics people don't pay as much attention to as they used to. But I think if you look at the NFL, CBS has it, NBC has it, ESPN, which is ABC, has it. Fox has it. They're going to give streaming rights to some on occasion. NFL Network is involved with it. You have all these different networks pushing the product, promoting the product. If ESPN had the Olympics, it would be at nauseum how much you'd hear about the Olympics, because that's what they do. If they own something, if they have the rights to something, they will push and push and push and promote. They're covering the Olympics, but they're just covering the Olympics on the fringe. They are not promoting it like NBC is, and NBC should. They spend a lot of money on it. I wonder if they were to split up the rights and give a little bit of everything to all the networks and even the TNTs of the world and others, if it would get tons of coverage and almost just flood the entire television world with the Olympics during an Olympic year. I think that would be beneficial.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a smart strategy. I think with what we're seeing right now, in terms of maybe it feels a little lackadaisical, just because the type of sports that we're seeing right now, we're not to the meat and potatoes, if you will, of the Olympics. We're not to the track and field events yet. We just started gymnastics. Swimming, is starting to, peak a little bit here as well. I guess wrestling's not that big in terms of watchability, but I enjoyed the wrestling, so I can't wait to watch that. It's just, I don't know.
Don't forget about baseball.
Oh, and baseball as well. Thank you very much, man. And tennis, I feel like is right around the corner too. Am I wrong? Tennis, or are they doing tennis already? See, it's going to show you how big of a fan I am. But
tennis and golf are starting up. But
okay.
The prime sports are swimming, track and field,
Yeah.
gymnastics. You had it right.
No, for sure. So those are starting to get ramped up a little bit. And once again, it's just, I think it's the fact that I'm not taking anything away from all these athletes. Like, if you have the chance to compete for your country, regardless of the sport, you take pride in that. But I can only watch so much rifle or whatever, I get it. Like, I'll watch a second to say I watched it, but like some of these things in terms of the longevity, how much you can watch it, it can be painstaking sometimes.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Regardless, listen, we're rooting hard tonight for Ryan Murphy, 100-meter backstroke final, friend of the show, big Jags fan. Love Ryan Murphy, and also Caleb Dressel. We don't know as well, but obviously from Clay County, Clay High School, and he is the best swimmer on the planet right now. Caleb Dressel will be the star of the games. We'll continue to watch him all week long. All right, the big news in on Aaron Rodgers. Said we're going to get to it. Aaron Rodgers has been a topic for months and months. Here's what Adam Schefter has tweeted in the last 15 minutes. Packers are offering concessions and are close to an agreement that would bring Aaron Rodgers back to Green Bay for at least this season. Deal's not done, but it is close. Here's what else Schefter says. Over the past weekend, the two sides were able to reach mutually agreed upon terms that are close to convincing Rodgers to abandon plans he had to skip training camp and return for it. Concessions do not include more money, per sources, according to Schefter. The new agreement, once finalized, would help set up Aaron Rodgers' departure from Green Bay after this season. The 2023 year in Aaron Rodgers' contract, the last one in his current deal, would be voided with no tags allowed in the future, per sources. So basically, this is, hey, Aaron, We understand we're not going to be able to repair this relationship. Come back, play one more year. We'll alter the contract. We've already got our quarterback of the future that we drafted. We'll wish you well, but let's go try to win a Super Bowl with you at the quarterback in 2021.
Well, and this makes sense, too, of why him and Devontae Adams, they each had the same thing on their Instagram story of Michael Jordan in The Last Dance. That kind of adds a little more clarity, if you will, of what they were getting at, even though you kind of got the sense that was the case. Also, Trey Wingo is reporting that he's hearing that right now Rodgers is coming back to Green Bay, hinging on a trade for former teammate Randall Cobb. And Randall Cobb right now is in Houston. So that's according to Trey Wingo, where Aaron Rodgers isn't going to come back unless they get Randall Cobb. Which, by the way, if you're Houston and, realistically, I think he's your third receiver right now on your team, don't you hold Randall Cobb for ransom? If that's the case, if these rumors are true, and if I'm Houston, I'm like, well, we really like Randall Cobb out of the slot. I mean, 2 first-rounders, maybe, because can you afford not to have Randall Cobb back in Green Bay? That's what I'd be doing right now if I was Houston.
Yeah, that's an interesting play. I think this is a little bit of the principal nature of what's going on right now with Aaron Rodgers, right? I think he basically is saying, I've told you I wanted a little bit more say. Well, I'm going to rework my deal so I can get out of here. I'm going to still make my money, and I'm also going to tell you that I want some say. I want this guy to come back and play with us. And so he's going to try to hit a home run on all the things that he wanted before he even leaves. I've got a few questions about this. One is simple. Is this better for Aaron Rodgers? Better for the Packers? Do both sides kind of win here? Before everybody's like, hey, no way, the Packers win. They're going to lose one of the best quarterbacks. Well, listen, he is going to be 38 years old. They did draft his replacement. They did. And now they won't have the drama of it. So I don't think it's as clear cut to say Green Bay loses. Yeah, they'll lose a heck of a player. But just because Tom Brady's doing it at 44 doesn't mean Aaron Rodgers is going to do it at 44 or 40 or 39. And an unhappy Aaron Rodgers sure as hell might not be able to do it because he's not going to be all in on it. So who wins on this deal? And is this a good deal for both sides? What are they saying at the pickle, Austin Lane?
What are they saying at the pickle? Probably give me another shot. But no, honestly. So, it's an interesting development here because you got the sense that Aaron Rodgers wanted out, and obviously that ended up being true. But here's the crazy thing about it, Brennan. You can take this from a few sides. Number one, I think that Aaron Rodgers unequivocally wins this round. Now, I get it. Green Bay has him for one more year, and essentially it is the last dance. You have one more shot to try to win a Super Bowl and bring it back to Green Bay. Okay, cool. But at the same time, you have a situation now where and like you said, they drafted his replacement, Jordan Love. Now, whether or not Jordan Love is the answer or not doesn't really matter. You took him in the first round. He better be if you want to keep your jobs. With that being said, though, with Aaron Rodgers, how much could you have got from this year if you chose to trade him? Probably a lot. Probably a lot of pieces that would help set you up for the future. Because you get the sense, regardless of Aaron Rodgers, well, let's be honest, he's not going to be there next year. Next year, it's going to be a rebuilding process. Because now we're talking about Devontae Adams probably leaving. He's not going to come back and play with Jordan Love. You don't know what Jordan Love's going to bring to the table. If you're Devontae Adams, you want to go play with, one of the best quarterbacks you can. So I assume Devontae Adams leaves. So we're talking about after this season, it could be a rebuilding project for the Green Bay Packers when you can, quote unquote, rebuild this year with a lot more draft capital. So that's why I say it's advantage, Aaron Rodgers and advantage for him in the future.
I think Aaron Rodgers wins the day because this becomes a Tom Brady kind of deal where it's basically like, hey, you got one more year and then you control your own destiny.
As the Packers can have.
Hi, Adam Schefter. How are you? Did Adam have more to say about Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers?
Is Casey? I didn't hear.
Was I the only one that heard that?
Yeah, I didn't hear anything.
I might have been the only one that heard that. Okay. Sorry about that. Everybody's like, "What are you talking about, Brent?"
Yeah, I thought Adam Schefter's got a kit playing right now too. You guys are hanging out with each other.
I'm getting the latest from Schefter here in the parking lot.
Yeah, for sure.
But I do think Aaron Rodgers, like to your point, I think Aaron Rodgers has to be the winner here. Because he's going to get out, and he's going to cater the deal to what he wants to do. He's going to get one more year, which will be, by the way, like a victory lap, I would assume, in Green Bay. Mm-hmm. And then especially if he plays well again. And then he'll be able to control his own destiny, a la Tom Brady, who got out of New England, went to Tampa, chose wherever he wanted to go, wins the Super Bowl. And, I mean, we won't even get into that right yet, but how many teams will be courting or in the conversation for Aaron Rodgers next year? I mean, that will be fascinating, right? And same teams like Miami and Philadelphia, and add like 10 more teams to the list who will be willing to give up whoever they have for a couple of years for Aaron Rodgers, especially after seeing the precedent of what Tom Brady did set. Even though I'm not convinced the next guy is going to be able to pull off what Tom Brady did, there's precedent for it. So people will pull the trigger on it. Austin, how hard will this be for a guy like Rodgers to play? If he knows there's one more year and that's all he's got, and he already doesn't like the brass, and he doesn't really want to be there, is this easy to go out and play? Is this easy to be with teammates? Is he going to get full appreciation from the fan base? I mean, what kind of year will this be for Aaron Rodgers if everybody knows the writing's on the wall? He's going to be gone.
See, to me, okay, so from the fan base, it's different because like we haven't really seen this before in terms of football. So I'm not sure. Honestly, I don't know how the fan base is going to react to it. I think the fan base just wants this story to be done and the chapter to be closed. Obviously, I think, and I get it, Aaron Rodgers is up there in age, but you're talking about a guy who won the MVP award last year, okay? And in terms of the tools that he has to work with, no, it's not the sexiest group of personnel in terms of wide receiver and tight end in the league. I get Robert Tonyan, is a heck of a player, but you got to believe that Aaron Rodgers also helps him out with that as well. They have Devontae Adams, but besides that, not too much. So I think that the fan base, I think they're going to be on the fence with this. I think if they're winning, everything is going good, then yeah, why not? But it's going to be in the back of their heads that essentially Aaron Rodgers is leaving you maybe for greener pastures. I think from his teammates, though, it's different because we see this sometimes in terms of, guys are going to retire or there's retirement rumors. And you get the sense in that locker room that, okay, this is the last go-around for this player because at the end of the season, he's probably going to retire. So players have found themselves in this position before. Now, it's not the same thing where it's like, well, Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to retire, but it's his last year in Green Bay. So, yeah, it's kind of the swan song. It adds a different wrinkle, a different narrative to that locker room. But I think 9 times out of 10, when that happens, guys are going to rally behind that and try to win for him as opposed to asking, like, well, what are we going to do next year?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting in that dynamic. I think they'll handle it well. They'll be like, hey, man, this guy's still the best, gives us the best chance to win. And once those guys hit the field, all they want to do is win. So the fan stuff will be interesting, especially if they disappoint and don't do well. I think that part will be interesting. But I don't think they're going to hold this over Aaron Rodgers. I think this is on the organization. I think if the brass were to go out there, they'd boo the heck out of him there at Lambeau Field for what's taken place. And it was a rocky start for the career for Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, and it looks like it's going to be a rocky finish as well. And get ready for this conversation, Austin Lane, because I think this is about to happen in a lot of different places around the NFL. I think when Tom Brady did it, when he has the power to pick some players, and it feels like he's got power with the GM and the moves they're making and say in the organization, I think we started to see Deshaun Watson. We started to see Aaron Rodgers. We started to see Russell Wilson say, hey, wait a minute. Why am I not doing that? Look at my resume. Look at the way I'm playing. Well, then Tom Brady said, you know what? I got one more year here. That's it, New England. Then the ball's in my court, and I'm going to go pick where I want to play. Well, now Aaron Rodgers just set the table to do that too. Will Russell Wilson be next? Deshaun Watson has a little bit less say because of his situation, but you get my point. I think we're about to see this a lot, at least from the quarterback position. I don't know about other positions across the league.
And you know what? And truth be told, this is going to be a precedent, I feel like, for the entire Green Bay Packers organization. Because you have a situation here where I feel like you have to win this season. And you have to justify the drama that took part. And you have to do it in a conference that has guys like Tom Brady and the Los Angeles Rams who seem to maybe find a little groove with Matthew Stafford now as well. So the road's not going to be easy. But if we're sitting here, at the end of January and February, we're talking about how, man, Green Bay missed out again. Well, now you're talking about an organization that had Brett Favre, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, that had Aaron Rodgers, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, and you only won 2 Super Bowls between those guys. You went to 3, and you won 2 of them. That's baffling to me. And listen, I'm not trying to harp on Green Bay here as an organization or anything, but like we always say, Green Bay, are they America's team? It's a quarter-run organization, just their fan base, all this stuff, it's ran right. Okay. But you've also had some of the best quarterback play in the past, I don't know, it seems like 2-3 decades, and what do you have to show for it? Not much. So to me, this is a monumental season for the Green Bay Packers, and obviously going forward, you have a guy in Jordan Love who's going to have all the pressure on him trying to replace a guy like Aaron Rodgers.
Well, and the point you just brought up brings up three different things for me. One is it makes you appreciate the heck out of what Tom Brady and the Patriots did to win all those Super Bowls.
Correct.
It doesn't matter if you have the guy. It doesn't matter if you have the coach. It doesn't matter if you have all the players. Winning is hard. Okay? And so that's really point number two. I think it's proof that when you have those kind of quarterbacks for 20-plus years, winning is hard. They had a lot of good players along with those quarterbacks. Winning is still hard. And then the third part is, I think it is on Green Bay a little bit, and especially with Rodgers more so. Because if you look at what happened with Aaron Rodgers in the last handful, 7 or 8 years, I said this about the Jags a lot. When you miss the boat, right, you're not ahead of the curve. When the league is going offense, and Kansas City is loading up with another receiver and another offensive weapon and a tight end, and you sit there in your Green Bay and you've got the best quarterback or one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and you get him nothing? Mm-hmm. You get him nothing? While Kansas City's getting a young kid who's never even played a game? Everything? Yeah. I mean, they're smart enough to do that, and you weren't. So I think there is a lot on the organization from that standpoint. You have to be ahead of the curve. You have to be good on defense. Yeah, you do to win championships. That still matters. But you also have to be able to play the game the way it's played today. And that's why I'm excited about the Jags, because the Jags finally can now go up and down the field with people, I think. Eventually they will be over the next couple of years. Mm-hmm. The people they're putting on the outside, people they have in the backfield, the quarterback they now have. Hopefully that line stands up. Now they can play the game that the rest of the NFL has been playing for almost a decade. And Green Bay missed the boat because they had the guy. They just chose not to get the pieces around the guy as much as they could have. And I think they made a big mistake doing it. That story's not going anywhere, but new information out on the Aaron Rodgers story from Adam Schefter and others today. That's a big story. Deshaun Watson, a big story. Austin will have more of that coming up, football at 5. Along the way, plus Camp Battle's tight end. Oh, yeah, that guy Tim Tebow. How's he going to do this week and this month? I'm going to probably step out of here in a couple minutes to check out one of these baseball games. Austin will take us home unless I rejoin him, which is a possibility. But before I do that, I depart by giving away some tickets. I made that sound like I was giving away my tickets.
Yeah, like you literally spent money on these things, and now out of the goodness of your own heart, you're going to give them away.
I am a super nice guy, though, and I would. But these really weren't mine to begin with. But this is a really cool contest.
It is.
You go to ESPN690.com, go to the contest page, and you can check out all the different acts. But this is called the Pick Your Ticket Contest. 904-362-9901, caller number 5. You get to choose a pair of tickets to any one of these shows. Miranda Lambert, Three Doors Down, Alice Cooper, Blackberry Smoke, Brothers Osborne, Counting Crows, Lady A, Pitbull, Rod Wave, Trippie Redd. You get to pick which one you want to go to if you're caller number 5, 904-362-9901. More information, by the way, on which groups there are to go pick from on ESPN690.com and the contest page. We'll be right back. Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert Forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly sunny skies, but a few showers and thunderstorms off and on. A high 90 in Jacksonville. We're partly cloudy tonight, an isolated lingering shower, low 74. Partly sunny skies Tuesday, a few storms, high 93. And then scattered showers and storms Wednesday. Looks like the wettest day of the week, high 92. From the Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Corey Sima.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Save thousands right now with Beard's unbeatable deals.
No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin. Choosing a new career path, it can be a big commitment. It can take time, energy, and yes, of course, money. And if you're looking to turn your career path around right now, you need to take a serious look with my friends at JTech. When you go to JTech, they have one goal in mind, and that's giving you the skills and tools needed to succeed in the field of your choice. That's why up to 84% of their graduates are employed in a field of their study right after graduation. And you're never going to be overcrowded, as their classrooms average on a 16-to-1 student-teacher ratio. Take part in the training of a whole new generation of automotive, diesel, HVAC, marine and RV, and transportation industry professionals. But you got to hurry, because they're enrolling students right now for their up-and-coming fall term. To learn more about JTech, visit jtech.org, or better yet, give them a call at 904-483-9460. Ask for Hank to set up an appointment to tour the campus or get your questions answered. Once again, that's 904-483-9460, or visit jtech.org.
Hey, boss. So, I've been reading all these stories about the ding-dong doorbell cameras sharing internet with neighbors. Yeah? What if we figured out how to hack into the network? We could have access to all kinds of personal information.
Are you serious? That is not what we do. We look for houses without safe touch security, and we break in when no one's home. Full stop, end of story.
But, boss, these ding-dong doorbell cameras is a goldmine of data.
Listen, Porchop, we gotta stay in our lane. Let someone else do the hacking. We are good old-fashioned burglars. Got it?
Got it.
Speaking of which, have you found any more houses without safe touch?
Yep. Believe it or not, there's still plenty out there.
Well, be glad for that, because we still gotta stick to the Crooks of Rust golden rule. Stay away from safe touch houses. And stay in our own lane.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Here in the Sunshine State, more than 3 million men are over age 45, and over half suffer from ED or PE. Here's a message from Prime Men's Medical Center.
I'm Dr. Brown. If you're having problems in the bedroom and pills like Viagra have let you down, you'll see results at Prime Men's Medical Center, guaranteed, or your exam is free. And it's affordable.
Call 904-664-8217. Guaranteed results on your first visit, or your exam is free. Call 904-664-8217.
Tire Outlet is taking their wholesale prices and premium service to Durbin Park. The new state-of-the-art Tire Outlet location in Durbin Park will soon be the latest as they continue to expand throughout Northeast Florida and beyond. Tire Outlet is more than just tires. They're here to serve all your car care needs. Come see the new location coming to Durbin Park or any of Tire Outlet's 12 locations for wholesale prices and premium service. You can find Tire Outlet online anytime at tireoutlet.com.
Do you know a child who is deaf, hard of hearing, blind, or visually impaired? The Florida School for the Deaf and Blind in St. Augustine offers a tuition-free educational program to prepare the child for a lifetime of success. FSDB offers free comprehensive education, transportation, and boarding services at no cost to all eligible deaf or blind students, elementary through high school, no matter where the student lives in Florida. Call 800-344-3737 or log on to www.fsdbk12.org to learn more.
Trucks, and more trucks, plus over 300 Primo pre-owned, all makes and all models. Find it all at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned today. Arlington Toyota has some of the biggest pre-owned truck selection I've seen. I'm talking Tundras, Tacomas, imports, domestics. You'll find it all at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Even better, you have 30 days to love your purchase or exchange it. And with Arlington's Credit for Everyone program, almost everyone is approved. Plus, Arlington will give you top dollar for your trade. Shop safely in person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com.
Pick your tickets. Listen to Action Sports Jacks all this week at 4:15 for your chance to win a pair of tickets to the concert of your choice in the Return to Live contest by Live Nation. Whether it's Three Doors Down, Alice Cooper, Pitbull, or somebody else, it's your choice. To see a full list of tickets, go to the contest page on ESPN690.com. And remember, listen at 4:15 all this week for your chance to win.
I'll tell you this, man, in preparation for the competition, I haven't taken it in weeks. It's not an option for me. Number 2 is not an option. I'll tell you that.
Oh, man. The great Gardner Minshew. Always great for a soundbite. The dude knows exactly who he is. And whether, his time here in Jacksonville is done, whether he's going to be the backup quarterback this year, whatever the case may be, I will always appreciate that about Gardner Minshew. And I always say this, and, I'm happy to have that on my resume. Literally the very first guy I ever interviewed for this show at the Senior Bowl. Nobody was talking to him. He was standing in the corner by himself because everybody wanted to get on that Daniel Jones hype train. Hundreds of reporters asking Daniel Jones questions. Brent gawking over Daniel Jones as well. And here it is, me and Gardner Minshew in the corner, just talking about travel suits that he wore and other things like that. Hey, what's up? Austin Lane, Action Sports Jax, ESPN 690. Co-host Brett Martineau. Watched some baseball today. I think Ty has a pretty big baseball tournament in Atlanta going on. Actually, I say in Atlanta, it's all over the place, it seems like. It's all over this great country. Driving outside of Atlanta hours or whatever the case may be. But, with the rain today, things got a little jumbled up, but it's okay. Casey and I can take it from here. And, of course, when I say Casey, week 2, had a heck of a first week. Can't wait to see him improve on the first week if that's even possible. But we got Casey pushing all the right buttons as well. Have we given you a nickname yet? Like, I know I've been gone the past couple of days last week, but did we give you a nickname yet?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, I guess you got to earn it, man. I mean, I gave you like 4 of them. Like Casey Spacem.
That was good.
Casey Racem, I guess, wasn't a good one. I thought it was funny, but